Fundamentals of Chinese 3, Unit 7, Asking Directions. Where are you off to? Understand it. Turn to pages 64 and 65 in your textbook and be prepared to take notes. Okay, so we start out this dialogue with Chang Lao Shi running into Bai Ying'ai in Chang Lao Shi on the university campus. She says, 小白下课了，上哪儿去？小白下课了，上哪儿去？ Okay, so 下课, you know, 下 means to go down, literally, and or get off something, like get off a train or get out of a car, to disembark. Okay, so here, before 课, the word for class, when it's used before, together with 课, we come up with the word for getting out of class or class is over. 下课. And Chang Lao Shi makes it a question, 下课了, and then asks, 你上哪儿去? So this is interesting. You haven't seen this before. 上哪儿去? So we have 下 here, which means to disembark or to go down, and then we have 上, which means to embark or board or go up. So what is that all about? Shang here is colloquial to mean to go, and they often, you might. It's hard to make new sentences with this without making mistakes, but of course the easiest thing to do is listen to how the Chinese use it and then just repeat it and use it in contexts where they use it. And so here's the first context. If you run into somebody and you're asking them, where are you going? Here is a way that you can ask, where are you going? 上哪儿去? You are going where, and then 去 is repeated as go. So it doesn't really make much sense. If you try to translate this word for word, you're going to get a headache. It's easier just to throw your hands up the air and say, I believe, I accept it. 上哪儿去 simply means, where are you going? So pause and write down what you think this whole sentence is. Little Bai, our class is over, or is your class over, or are you out of class? Where are you going? Okay, then Bai Ying'ai says, 您好，常老师，我想去学校的电脑中心，不知道怎么走，听说就在运动场旁边。Okay, so we got quite a mouthful here. 您好，常老师，我想去学校的电脑中心，不知道怎么走，听说就在运动场旁边。Okay, so we start with 中心. 中, you know, means middle, and 心 means heart. So middle of the heart means the center, or the center of something. So you know 电脑, and so together this is a place. 电脑中心, 电脑中心. Okay. Next here we have 听说. 听说 means to be told or to hear of. You know, I heard something. I heard blah 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 blah. 我听说 blah 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 blah. So 听 means listen, 说 means to speak, but together these make up a word, and the word is simply to be told or to hear of. So 白岩爱听说的电脑中心就在运动场旁边. Okay, so what is a 运动场? It's obviously a place. Okay, 运动 is like activity or sports activity. 场 is a a vast area, a big open area. There's the word for parking lot uses this word 场, 停车场, stop car field, basically, parking lot. Here you have 运动场, so you have a sports field. So this 电脑中心百英爱听说就在运动场旁边. Okay, so what's 旁边? If we can figure out what 旁边 means, then we will know where the 电脑中心 is. 旁边 means next to, or the side of something. So now you have enough to put this whole piece together. 您好，常老师，我想去学校的电脑中心，不知道怎么走，听说就在运动场旁边. Okay, so pause and write down what you think this means. Okay, 您好，常老师。Hello, Teacher Chang. 我想去学校的电脑中心. I want to go to the school computer center. 不知道怎么走, but I don't know how to get there. 听说就在运动场旁边. I heard it was next to the sports field. Okay, 电脑中心没有运动场那么远。你知道学校图书馆在哪里吗？ Okay, 电脑中心没有运动场那么近，那么远。So what does 远 mean? 远 means far. So this is an interesting sentence. Can you pull together what this means? 电脑中心, there's your subject. 没有运动场那么远。Okay? 你知道学校图书馆在哪里吗? Okay, so what do you think this means? Pause and write down what you think this means. Okay, 电脑中心, the computer center. 没有运动场那么远 is not as far from here as the sports field, or is not as far as the sports field. Okay, so you have here the subject 电脑中心, and then you have a comparison 运动场, and this is not as far as this place. So this place is not as far away as this place. Okay, so this is kind of a complicated construction. You'll notice that 没有 usually means not to have something, right? But here it has nothing to do with have or not having anything. It's simply negating that this place is as far as that place. And really the only way to translate this into English is with the verb is. Okay, but you might want to, repeat this sentence a few times and sort of pound this structure into your head. 电脑中心没有运动场那么远. Another comparison you could make is you could say that tea is not as good tasting or is not as delicious as coffee. Okay, so you'd use the same construction. You would use this 没有 and then 那么, and then you'd have to add the adjective delicious. Okay, because you're saying that tea is not as delicious as coffee. Okay, so you would say 茶, okay, tea, 茶没有咖啡那么好喝. Right? Tea is not as delicious as coffee. Okay, this is a sentence pattern here. Don't worry about trying to pick apart all the characters in it and how to translate it into English. Just know that if you want to say that A is not as good as B, or is not as something, as not as adjective as B, okay, then you use this construction. New York is not as warm as California. 纽约没有加利福尼亚那么暖和 okay, or 那么热 okay, so very good pattern here. And then, do you know where the library is? 你知道学校图书馆在哪里吗? Okay, so Bai Ying Ai responds, 知道离王鹏的宿舍不远 Okay, so 离 is well, it means away from, but that doesn't help much. Basically, the way 离 is used, well, let's see if you can figure this out. So she says 知道, then she says 离, okay, and then she says 王鹏的宿舍. So we have, this is one piece, then this 王鹏的宿舍 is another piece, and then you have 不远, not far. So you have this 离, and then Wang Peng's dormitory, and then not far. Okay, so what do you think this means? Pause and write down. I know it is not far from Wang Peng's dorm. Okay, so this li is used to mean from. So from this place, it's not far. So I know it's not far from Wang Peng's dorm. Let's make another sentence. Boston is not far from Concord. So you would say, here, the library is the subject. She just doesn't repeat library here. But if we were going to make a sentence saying Boston is not far from Concord, then the subject would be Boston. So you would say 波士顿, that's Boston. 波士顿离 Concord 不远. 波士顿离 Boston 不远. Boston 波士顿离 Concord 不远. Boston is not far from Concord. Okay. Chang Lao Shi then says 电脑中心离, so you just saw this, 离图书馆很近，就在图书馆和学生活动中心中间. Okay, so this is kind of involved here. So the 电脑中心离图书馆很近. Okay, so here you have this construction again. So you should be able to sort this piece out here. Right? 就在图书馆和学生活动中心中间. Alright, so we need to look at these other pieces here. 活动 means activity. So you have a 学生活动中心, this is a place. The 学生活动中心 is a place. So the computer center is 在图书馆和学生活动中心中间. Okay. 中间 means middle. Okay, middle. So the computer center is 在 is in the middle. This is what this in the middle. In, remember 在 is in or at, and 中间 is middle. So these go together, in the middle. Except in Chinese, they say that such and such a place is in A and B, and then they put the middle. Really what they're saying is it's such and such a place is in the middle of A and B. But the sentence structure is 在 A and B middle. Okay, so now you have enough to put this together. 电脑中心离图书馆很近，就在图书馆和学生活动中心中间。Okay, so pause and write down what you think this means. All right, so the computer center is close to the library. Okay, 电脑中心离图书馆很近. So the computer center from the library is close, very close. Literally, computer center from library, very close. Notice no use of the verb to be here. You don't see 是 in here. So this kind of construction in Chinese does not require the use of the verb to be. It does in English, right down here. The center is close to. Okay? So in English, we need the help of this verb to say that one place is close to another place. In Chinese, there's no need for that. Here's the structure right here. 电脑中心离图书馆很近. Oh, okay. It's right in the middle of the library and the student center. It's right in the middle of the library and the student center. So, right in the middle of the library and student center. So the word order is all messed up if you compare it to English. Okay? Alright? So this is, remember, this is a sentence pattern. You can just memorize this pattern and then plug in different words to express different meanings. Okay? Alright? Okay? 就在图书馆, 就在 library and student activity center middle. It's right in the middle of the library and the student activity center. You should know what this means. 常老师，您去哪儿呢? Write down what you think that means. Teacher Chang, where are you going? 我想到学校书店去买书. Okay, 书 you know means book. 店 you know is like 饭店, a restaurant. You know is like some kind of store, right? So 书店 is bookstore, right? So 常老师上哪儿去呢? 我想到学校书店去买书. Okay, write down what you think that means. I'd like to get some books at the bookstore. I'd like to buy some books at the bookstore. I want to go to the bookstore to buy some books. Alright, this is pretty straightforward. 书店在什么地方? 书店在什么地方? So 地方 means place. So you should be able to sort this out. 书店在什么地方? Okay, write down what you think that means. If you said, where's the bookstore, then you would be correct. Okay. Chang Lao Shi responds to that question by saying, 就在学生活动中心里边，我们一起走吧. Okay. 里边, 里边. I'm used to saying 里边, but here there's no R after, it's just 里边. 里边. 里边 means inside. So you have in, at the inside of this place. at the inside of this place, which sits in between the 在 and the 里边. So 就在学生活动中心里边。我们一起走吧。Pause and write down what you think that means. And if you said it's right inside the Student Activity Center, let's go together, you'd be correct. So 就 gives the expression of it's right inside there. It's right inside the Student Activity Center. 就在学生活动中心里边。我们一起走吧。Let's go together. And Bai Ying Ai says 好. And that concludes this video.